Imagine combining a butcher shop with a supplement store. That's essentially what Ancestral Supplements is. They sell beef organs like liver, kidneys, and heart that are dried and powdered, pack them into capsules, and sell them at a ridiculous markup. In a regular butcher shop or supermarket, fresh beef liver typically costs around $6 to $8 per pound, or $13 to $18 per kilogram. Since around 75% of the weight of organ meat is water, the dried and powdered form of liver would cost around $52 to $72 per kilogram. Ancestral Supplements sells a pack of grass-fed beef liver for $48, which includes 180 capsules. Each capsule contains 500 milligrams of powdered beef liver, totaling about 90 grams per pack. This works out to approximately $533 per kilogram, which is way higher than buying raw liver from the market. This crazy markup applies to all the organ meat supplements on their website. Despite the significant price difference, the nutrients and benefits of these organ meats remain the same, whether they're in raw or in capsule form. So, what are the benefits of consuming these organ meats? Organ meats are packed with nutrients like vitamins, minerals, and proteins. For example, beef liver and kidneys contain higher levels of vitamin A, B vitamins, iron, zinc, selenium, and copper compared to your average steak. However, the liver and kidneys act as the body's toxin filters, which means that they're in contact with higher levels of toxic substances within the body, potentially exposing whoever's eating them to these toxins. For instance, beef liver and kidneys may contain higher levels of heavy metals like lead and cadmium than regular beef. The exact levels depend on environmental conditions, such as what the cows are fed. In North America, the liver and kidneys sold generally don't exceed safe limits, but they're still higher than in regular beef. Beef heart and tongue are nutritionally similar to steak since they're also muscle tissue. In fact, ground beef sold in the US often includes beef heart and tongue mixed in with regular beef. Intestines and stomach have less protein but are richer in collagen, potentially offering unique nutritional benefits. However, because they're part of the digestive system and can harbor bacteria and parasites, they need to be thoroughly cleaned and cooked. Beef sweetbread consists of the thymus or pancreas, organs linked to the immune system and digestion. They contain less protein but more fat compared to regular beef. Beef brain is also higher in fat due to phospholipids and choline, but has less protein. There's a significant risk associated with consuming beef brains because of bovine spongiform encephalopathy or mad cow disease. This disease is caused by prions, which are not destroyed by cooking. So even if you thoroughly wash and cook the brains, it's still unsafe to consume infected brain tissue. Consequently, the sale and consumption of cow brains are generally prohibited in North America. Bone marrow is mostly fat and is much higher in calories per weight compared to other organ meats. It also contains higher levels of iron and calcium. Reproductive organs like testicles, uterus, and ovaries are less commonly consumed and offer no significant nutritional advantages over regular beef. Despite being hormone-producing organs, there's no evidence that consuming them cooked or raw affect human hormone levels. Thyroid tissue is usually not eaten, but is often dried and sold as desiccated thyroid medications. These medications mostly use pig thyroids rather than cow thyroids used in ancestral supplements, as pig thyroids more closely mimic human thyroids. Desiccated thyroid is sometimes used to treat medical conditions where the thyroid gland does not produce enough hormones. However, if taken without a thyroid condition, it can cause a whole host of problems, such as hyperthyroidism. Some people use them as a natural alternative to synthetic thyroid medications. The main benefit is that it contains a wider range of thyroid hormones, which some people find more effective than synthetic medication. However, the hormones in desiccated thyroid can be stronger, making it harder to use safely, increasing the risk of side effects. This issue is compounded by the fact that hormone levels can vary significantly between different brands and even within the same batch, leading to inconsistent dosing and effects. Additionally, desiccated thyroid is often less available and sometimes more expensive than synthetic alternatives. When it comes to choosing the most nutritious organ meats for your diet, beef liver and kidney are probably your best bet. They have a higher concentration of certain vitamins and minerals compared to regular beef. However, they may also contain slightly elevated levels of heavy metals, which is their main trade-off. Another option is beef stomach or intestines like tripe. These are rich in collagen, which can be beneficial, but they require thorough cleaning and careful cooking. Other organ meats don't offer much more than regular beef, are often harder to find and cook, and may not taste as good. Desiccated thyroid should not be consumed without consulting your doctor, as it can affect your thyroid hormone levels if not used carefully. With all the hype around organ meats, you might wonder if they're really worth it for the nutritional benefits. In reality, the nutritional differences between eating organ meats and regular beef aren't game-changing. For example, beef liver is loaded with vitamin B12, about 30 times more than regular beef, ounce for ounce. But if you're eating just a 3-ounce serving of liver each day, that's only 68 extra micrograms of B12. In comparison, supplements provide anywhere from 250 to 2,500 micrograms per pill. Additionally, trying to get these nutritional benefits from an organ meat supplement is completely impractical. To gain the full nutritional benefits from organ meat, you'd need to consume a decent amount, like 1 or 2 servings per day, which is about 80 to 200 grams. Taking 1 or 2 capsules amounting to a few hundred milligrams per day doesn't provide enough nutrition to make a meaningful difference. Let's do the math. Each capsule of Ancestral Supplements liver contains the dry weight equivalent of about 2 grams of fresh liver. To get the same nutritional benefits as a single 3-ounce or 85 gram serving of fresh organ meat, you'd need to take 42 to 43 capsules. Essentially, the entire $48 bottle, which contains 180 capsules, is nutritionally equivalent to roughly 4 servings or 360 grams of fresh organ meat. Nutritionally, that's less than a standard $6 or $7 tray of beef liver you can get at your local grocery store. Quite an expensive way to get your daily dose of organ meat. That being said, beef organ meats are packed with nutrients like vitamin A, B vitamins like B12, B6, B5, and folic acid, iron, zinc, selenium, and copper. However, a more efficient way to gain these benefits is to just take the specific nutritional supplement. For example, if you have a B12 or iron deficiency, talking to your doctor about supplementing these directly is far more effective than taking ancestral supplements. Or you could start eating cooked beef liver or kidney, assuming you can stomach these types of foods, which, to be frank, is nutritionally pretty similar to regular beef if you're eating reasonable amounts each day. Consuming beef organ supplements is gonna be no different, except now you'll also be consuming an unnecessarily high cost. Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Young. Do you think it's worth it? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel and leave me a like. Hit the notification bell if you want to stay up to date, and share this video with someone you know can use the info.